Ahmed body slammed Cesar Soto. Was your heart in your throat?
Yes, because it was very obvious and flagrant. The only thing that helped in that case was the fact that Soto was butting him continually. And the referee took a whole round away from Ahmed. I said, we're going to take points away to take points from both of them. But it was just so flagrant, and that's what made it look so bad. But in this case here, both of these guys are big punchers, and they both like to throw the right hand, but both guys are pretty good at countering when you miss with a right hand, particularly Hopkins. So if you throw your right hand at Hopkins, you're taking a big risk of getting countered with the right hand also.
Hopkins is making a pretty impressive case for his ability to show skills even amid an extremely awkward fight.
He's showing a lot of experience. See, that's what I'm saying. Echols threw a right hand and got countered with a right uppercut at the same time.
Echols gets himself out of position, and Hopkins lands a little right hand. Not a powerful punch, but it connects. Well, this is not pretty. You expect maybe Vargas Trinidad will be a prettier fight.
Yeah, at this point in the stage right here, it's a still exciting fight, but you can see the experience level, the championship rounds, is beginning to show more for Hopkins. And it's just a matter of time, I think, eventually, unless he gets killed with one punch, that he'll eventually be able to knock out Echols. And once again, it's a counter punch again. Eventually, Echols is going to be gun sharp of throwing his right hand, because every time he's throwing it at this point in time, he's getting countered with right hands.
Partially that's because Echols lunges when he punches.
He lunges, he loses his balance on his right hand, and Hopkins is from the old school. He's rolling his shoulders a lot to make him lose his balance even more by letting him miss completely, and then he counter punches with a counter right hand.
In a recent Ring magazine listing of the 20 greatest middleweights of all time, they listed Hopkins 16th, but the copy suggested we're probably underselling him because he's an active fighter. When he retires, he might be in the top 10.
He's been a very active fighter, and he's improving so much. That's what's so interesting to me, as compared to when he first fought for the middleweight title, when he fought Roy Jones, which he was inexperienced, first big fight, never had the Olympic experience that Roy had and all of the great amateur fights.
Give some relaxation. Give me that breathe. Draw it up. Put me on my shorts. Sit down, look, mister. You're trying a little too hard in there. Let's go back to your boxing skills. You can box. Come to the center of the ring, double those shots up, and give me the shot I'm looking for. That's all.
You got to get dirty with him. Hit him back in the cup. Okay, sure. Okay? Hit him back in the cup. Hold 2 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? Stop. Okay, 2 minutes. Now pick up your pace.
Stay in your corner. Start.
Round 6 of a scheduled 12. Bernard Hopkins looking to extend his streak of successful middleweight title defenses to 12. Another right hand counter by Hopkins off of a right hand by Echols. And as Echols pauses to try to talk to Tony Weeks, Hopkins hits him, and Echols retaliates by body slamming Hopkins.
And Hopkins is acting as though he's really hurt his shoulder badly. He seems to be in agony there. He landed directly on that right shoulder.
Bernard is faking. Well, you could easily get a separated shoulder there. Although Antoine Echols is telling our ringside camera across the ring that Hopkins is faking right now. Harold Letterman, give us some more of your input here.
Jim, without question, Bernard Hopkins is going to win this fight by disqualification. At the end of 2 rounds, we heard Echols' second tell him, go out and foul him. And he just picked them up and dumped them. And Bernard may have a dislocated shoulder without question. Absolutely, Antoine Echols should be disqualified. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No scorecards. It's a disqualification for Hopkins, and that's all there is to it.
Unless, of course, Hopkins chooses to fight again. And it's hard for me to imagine that he would after this.
I doubt if he's going to fight anymore. And, you know, it was such a flagrant, much as we were saying with Hamed. And I'm quite sure he's not faking it because he was winning the fight.
No, it's totally intentional, the foul.
Well, a lot depends on the condition of that right shoulder, which is what he landed on. Evidently, he's elected to fight.
You want to fight?
Nah,
hold on, stay right there. Hey, over there.
I imagine Bowie Fisher, Hopkins' trainer, is wishing that Bernard would take advantage of the opportunity to walk back to the dressing room with another win.
Well, and also I think he has to be looked at by a physician, by trainers.
Take 2 points. Okay, hold on. Stay right here. Okay. So, 2 points right over here. Hey, judge, 2 points over here. 2 points over here. Listen, get over here. The fight, listen to me. The fight is going to continue. Listen. Hold on. The fight is going to continue. Both of you guys are flirting with disqualification. Okay, you cannot pick up. Listen, because you cannot pick somebody up and just throw them down. Now listen. The fight is going to continue. We're going to keep it clean. Hold it right there. Stay right there. Listen to me. The fight is going to continue. You listen to me, Bernard. You could be disqualified too. You hear me? Listen to me. You could be disqualified too. So listen to my commands. Okay, here we go. Time in. Let's go.
I wonder whether this is a little vainglorious by Hopkins.
Yes, I would have liked if I saw a doctor to look at the shoulder to see some movement in the right shoulder. Because at this stage here, I don't know really what the condition of the right shoulder is.
I find myself wondering what happens a round from now if the shoulder stiffens up and he can't go on.
It's going to be very interesting. And also, in his state of mind, he may do something himself flagrant back to Echols and possibly put himself in a position.
Guys, Bernard Hopkins hasn't thrown a right hand since he stood up. Harold Letterman, what else?
Jim, let me tell you, a doctor did take a look at Hopkins. That was the female in the ring. It was Dr. Margaret Goodman. She did check out Bernard Hopkins, and Bernard said he elected to fight. So she let it go. But Tony Weeks called it an intentional foul, and Bernard Hopkins gets 2 points that they took from Antoine Echols for the intentional foul.
But he has not thrown a single right hand in more than 40 seconds of boxing since he stood up.
Jim, under the rules, okay, if the fight gets stopped before the end because of the intentional foul, because of the shoulder injury, Antoine Echols can't win the fight. If he's ahead, the fight's a draw, and Hopkins keeps the title.
So if a round or two from now, if Hopkins says, you know what, my right shoulder's stiffening up and I can't fight, he could still win by DQ.
Absolutely. They go to the scorecards. If Hopkins is ahead, he wins. If Antoine Echols is ahead, it's a technical draw. If it's a draw, if it's even, then it's a draw.
Could that be why Hopkins chose to continue fighting Emmanuel? Because he figures he's well ahead on the scorecards anyway?
And I don't think he was aware of the rule. I think he really is just upset. He's angry and he wants to get even.
And he still hasn't thrown the right hand.
No, he has not thrown that right hand.
It's like he's going to say, okay, I'm going to show you what a Philadelphia fighter can do. I'm going to beat you one-handed now.
Put on a beautiful display of boxing at this point in time, but sooner or later, the right hand is going to probably have to be a factor in the fight.
Dr. Margaret Goodman asked Hopkins if he was okay. He said his shoulder was fine and he wanted to fight. He has not thrown a right hand since standing up.
Pop the chain! Pop the chain! Pop the chain!
It is not completely out of the question that Hopkins could go on and win the fight with one hand. We've seen guys win fights with one hand, particularly if it's the left.
But I wonder if the corner is picking up on the fact that he hasn't thrown the right. Let's hear what they have to say.
Don't worry about trying to get this guy with one big shot. Just go back to boxing because you're the best fighter in the ring. All right? You're the best fighter out there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Good point.
Don't be careless on the brake. Keep your hands up.
How's your shoulder? I want you to stimulate. Let me see you lift it. You can't lift it. We can't let you continue.
I can't lose the belt like that.
Let me see you lift your arm. Can you lift
There
your
you
arm?
go. It's all right.
It's all right.
Push against me. Okay. Can you use your right hand, okay?